Hello everyone, we are from Group 4, Section 24 of Reading and Writing in English course. These are my group members. Today we would like to present our digital story which is of mice and men. I got you to look after me and you got me to look after you, and that's why. This touching quote was from the book of Mice and Men that was written by John Steinbeck. As innocent as the title must sound, this book actually has a tragedy storyline with a dramatic plot twist. The book was published in 1937 by Courage Fred, and it was originally from the United States. The genre of the book is a fictional kind of novella, and it's on 107 pages long.
Hi, I am Natasha binti Sugiman. From the past reading passage, I have got some summary in this Of Mice and Men novel. The main character is George and Lenny. George is a small, intelligent man who looks after his friend Lenny, a large, strong man who has a learning disability.
George and Lenny were traveling together along the Salinas River in California to find work. They have work cards indicating that there are jobs available at a nearby ranch. Lenny have this kind of thing where he likes to pet a mouse because of its offers and killed it unintentionally every time he had one. The obsession also causes them losing their past job, which Lenny happened to touch a woman's skirt and were accused harassing the woman. That's how they ended up jobless and traveling to another place for a job.
As George pats his pocket where the work card are kept, he noticed that Lenny has something in his pocket as well. Lenny explained that he likes to pet the mouse so far as he walks. George takes the mouse from Lenny and threw it into the bushes. He then admonished Lenny for his behavior, warning him not to behave badly as he done so often in the past, and ordering him not to say a word when they meet the boss at the new ranch.
Curly is in front of all the townsmen and he starts to beat on Lenny. Curl is punching Lenny in the face as hard as he can. Lenny's face starts to bleed, but all he does is cry. Lenny's hands are still down at his side and he's not moving. Then George starts to yell, "Get him! Get him, Lenny! Fight back!" Lenny's hands are still at his side. Then all of a sudden Lenny attacks. He grabs Curly's hands and just crushes it. But then all of a sudden Lenny gets scared. He grips harder and harder, not letting go. Lenny's hands are much bigger and stronger than the Curly hands. It was easy for Lenny. When it was all over, Curly told anyone who asked his hand got stuck in the machine. Then that is how bad it looked.
Firstly, Lenny was playing with his puppy given by Slim. But suddenly, the puppy is trying to bite him. So, that incident, Lenny hit so hard the puppy until dead. That incident will make Lenny scared to meet with George. Meanwhile, Curly's wife come and show the dead puppy. Other than that, she and Lenny start talking about their life. And she is really friendly with Lenny. But Lenny was telling with she about she do not come here because that will get in trouble if Curly know about that. After they was talking with each other, she let Lenny play with her hair. But once she tried to move away, Lenny was touched that hair. Other than that, she started screaming and not on purpose, Lenny snapped her neck and she died. Lastly, when George and the gang come in the barn, they were sure she was dead. But by that time, Lenny was run away from the barn. So they went to hunt for him.
After a couple minutes, Carson with Curly and Crocs come to the barn with Candy and following by George. Curly is so angry and blames Lenny, saying he will go for a shotgun and shoot Lenny. When Slim asks George where Lenny might be, George tells Slim Lenny would have gone to the shop. After that, 4 of them also leave from the barn to find Lenny.
The resolution in this story is before Curly and other guys find Lenny, George shot Lenny by the gun that Lenny stole from Carlson. George had to kill his friend Lenny because he was not willing to see Lenny get hurt and killed by Curly. These two characters is credible especially to the people who are and live on the western side of the country. George and Lenny are two men who have a dream to owning their own ranch and working for themselves. Our favorite character is George because his characters in this world story show us he is a person who always having idea to settle his own problem, which is intelligent man even he is a small size body. But it is becomes a problem when these two men involved in one issue, which is when Lenny accidentally killed a woman and his friend George also shoot Lenny, for which is supposed to save Lenny but vice versa.
In my opinion, I can relate Candy characters in the story. This is because his character show him as pet lover, and the scene that I can relate when he lost his dog, it makes me remind my dead cat. Based on the story, Candy has old sheepdog that been the company since the dog was a puppy. Of course, life was on the range, especially Candy dogs, on an impressive sheep herder, but now toothless, foul-smelling and brittle with the edge sharp on Candy fears. When his dog is shot because it is old, useless, and smelly, Candy fears intensively. Based on my experience, I never feel or done like some of the things the character did in this story. This is because in the story I have a strong role and more about the antagonist character, just as Curly, who is confrontational, mean-spirited, and aggressive young man who seeks to compensate for his small stature by picking fight with a large man. Other than that, I never imagined that someone will kill an animal, and I thought it was inhuman. But, for example, Carlson chose Candy dog because he's all sick and no longer able to walk as a sheepdog. But the shooting of Candy dog is also framed as a marriageful act intended to prevent the dog's suffering.
In our opinion, we like a book of mice and men, where the favorite part of the book from us is when George and Lenny were looking for a new job and had a walk after being abandoned by a bus. Other than that, our favorite part is where Lenny and George quarrel over the carcass of the rat that Lenny carried on the way to the cave. This has happened because Lenny is a person like fruity thing and a soft thing in her life, but George favorite it and threw the rat carcass into the pond, but Lenny taken aback. So we also have a less favorite part of the book, which is when George shoot Lenny until death without sympathy and confusion as a friend. So if we could change something, we want the ending of this story not to end tragically, so that the bond of friendship is destroyed due to Lenny murders caused by George. This is because which such ending the friends' loyal attitude does not exert on their relationship all the time.
We recommend this book of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck to you guys. This book has 107 pages. Even though this book has used some of bad language and violence, this book still shows about valuable life lesson and relationship of friendship. Moreover, the story plot in this book had a huge plot twist and reader would not expect about that. Lastly, we will rate it 4 out of 5 stars for this book. Based on the story in Of Mice and Men, I think the person who are in love with action, thriller, crime, and adventure genre would like this book so much. This is because there are too many violence acts such as killing animals, shooting people, using a swearing word, and so on. However, for someone who loves the romance genre, it feels like they won't be interested with the storyline in this book. This is because it's hard to find romantic scene in the story. Furthermore, someone who likes with action, thriller, crime, and adventure genre, they will remain comfortable and excited to read this book.
Moral value that we learn from the book is friendship and commitment, shown most clearly through the relationship between Lenny and George. They illustrate that friends are all about friends of yesterday, today, and forever, especially during tough times. That's all from us. Thank you.